Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BDM Pinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback. And take us along with you. I want to show you all this first thing this morning, and I want to thank Miss Marie for a beautiful birthday card. Now, if I could just figure out how to turn it on, it'll sing to you. There's some buttons I was supposed to press. I'm like, okay, well, where is the button? It does celebration. Come on. Hey, have a good time. I just want to thank everyone for acknowledging my birthday. I had a wonderful time and celebrated all month, and also my son flew in as a surprise. So just wanted to share that with you. If I figure out how to turn this on, I'm going to share that with you as well. Happy Monday, everybody. And you're tuned in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. There's been so much going on this past weekend. Oh, man, and I want to say happy Monday to Ronaldo, happy Monday to Katrina, happy Monday to Ron, happy Monday to Carl, and to, who was it, Tijuana, and Tijuana, there were two there, and also to Sabrina. I mean, Mark, there were just so many folks, and there were just so many events going on. Oh, my goodness. And then you got to know that this coming Friday, there's an event at Wayne County Community College. And it's an opportunity to let people know what your concerns are in this black community. Mark, who you want to say hey out to this morning?
Oh, man, just, excuse me. Folks, I'm just going to say that feedback, I always say we get the guests when I post it on Facebook and on the Hood Research site. And I'm telling you, not only do we get the guests, when they come on this show, they just blow up, Miss Broughton.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, there's a wonderful thing that has happened. Tell us about the Library of Congress.
Yes, indeed. Well, as we know, we've had Miss Onita Jackson, author and artist,
Yes.
and her book, Nappy-Headed Negro Syndrome, is now a collector's item, folks. So if you got a copy, and I must have given out at least 20 signed copies of the book over the years.
Wow.
Her book is now going to be
Dun, dun, dun.
in the United States Library of Congress for perpetuity, folks.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun,
indeed.
dun, dun.
Not too many books make it to the Library of Congress.
Right, right. Oh, goodness. That is
So
wonderful.
she is one of the people that's going to be in the Library of Congress. And we had a big celebration yesterday, and down at the Detroit Artistry Gallery is over on the east side on Kercheval, 7410 Kercheval. And oh my goodness, I'm telling you, had just a great time and a lot of great people, met a lot of great people down there. And
Right, right. That is
just want to say thank you once again
that is
to everybody in the building that day. And let me see. She's got a gift for you. We'll show everybody later on
Uh-oh. Okay, okay.
what she got for Miss Broughton's birthday, folks. The birthday lady
Dun,
is
dun,
just,
dun,
I'm like,
dun,
filling up.
dun.
It's like
Oh,
Christmas.
yeah, yes, yes. Oh, man. There's opportunities for the community to come out on Friday from 9 a.m. And until think about 3, and the meals will be served, and it's a good time to talk about what you were sharing, how you see this city is being so full of angry black people. Talk about that.
Oh, I just, just as you drive daily, you can just see the anger in people. People drive angry. And you understand, because I ain't going to kid you. I was coming in, I came down Schaefer from 7 Mile all the way to Grand River, and the lights are timed so horribly. We got to get Brother James Ford back in the building to talk about people running these red lights, because you almost can understand. You know, it's no reason for you to leave a green light, then have to pull up to a red light, and you see a green light in front of you, which you know is going to turn red when yours turn green.
Yeah.
And I mean, people in a hurry, they got to get to work, and you know,
Right.
we
Right.
we run late every now and then.
Yeah, right. What you say every now and
So
then.
it's like, hey, we got to move on and get things going. And you know, speaking on that anger, Miss Brown, I'm glad you mentioned that. I've been reading Richard Wright's book called Lord Today.
Lord, today.
And I don't know if I didn't know this book existed until I was watching an interview with James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni. And James Baldwin said, "This is one of my favorite books." And I said, "Well, if it's one of James Baldwin's favorite books, I got to get it."
Yeah, yeah.
And I picked it up and opened it up a few days ago. I had already read about 120 pages. And what you realize is this is set in like the 1930s. And the main character is a guy named Jake, work at the post office. It's set in Chicago. And what you realize is very little has changed. These guys are everybody angry, you know, because they don't have enough money. You know you're not going to move up at the job, you know. It starts out he there with his wife, and, you know, she up there flirting with the milkman. He's like, you know, I know you messing with that milkman, you know. He want to fight with her. He got to go off to work at the post office. And, you know, he said she needs surgery that's going to cost $500. And he already in debt and they can't afford it. And, oh, my goodness. And what you realize is our lives are just fraught, people. I mean, racism that put us so far behind the 8 ball, you wonder, is anything going to change? That doggone book is almost 100 years old.
What?
I mean, it's set in the 1930s.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, and we got to realize, at some point, what do we want from this world, Miss Bro? Do we want a better world?
Do we want a better world? Well, I guess the question is, when one comes into the world, is it better in the beginning? Do they know what to want? Do they know what to do with it if they get it? You know, there are some circumstances that our people have been put in, and I know there are those who don't talk about slavery. Well, slavery is something that happened.
Yes.
It's part of American history. And during that time, the parents who brought the next generation in had to be bearing on their children so that they wouldn't go out being happy and playful and end up getting hurt, flogged, killed, you know. So their life did not start out too wonderful or anything to want. And then the next generation, well, you see that there are others who are enjoying things that because of systemic racism, you've not been able to enjoy.
Yep.
So I guess you wonder, do we really want a better world? I guess the question is, what is a better world?
That's a
What
good
do you
question.
think?
That is a
What
good question, Miss
is a
Bro.
better world?
And that's what we need to start with. What do we want to see in this world?
That's right.
For one thing, we want to try to get rid of all this injustice.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
There was I should say an interview early this morning of the gentleman who fell in love with the prosecutor in Georgia, and they started a relationship. He is, I guess it's still going on, a divorce from his wife. He worked with this prosecutor, and the prosecutor is the one who is
Fannie Willis.
thank you. That's it, right. filed the case, working on a case against the former president for trying to fix the election that he did not legitimately win. So anyway, as he was being asked, do you think that your relationship with her is going to affect the trial? And he's like, he didn't say it like this, I'm paraphrasing, but affect the trial. You know, in other words, this was my personal life, had nothing to do with the trial. It was not something that happened to affect the trial. And what the former president did was not any part of his personal life, you know. And then he was asked, well, do you think it's going to make a difference in the results? My question is, why should it make a difference in the results? What anybody does when they leave work is their personal business. And he was not trying to overthrow the trial or interfere with any evidence that had nothing to do with the two of them. So anyway, he was told by, I guess it was the state AG, that if he didn't leave, then they would put her out and have to get a new set of prosecutors, which would have affected the trial altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So he bowed out, and she's still on the trial, and the former president is still avoiding the gag order,
Right.
you know,
Doing his own thing.
Oh, yes.
Above the law.
Lord have mercy. So I think that is really interesting that his and her personal life. Oh, and he was in the divorce when he started dating her, and he was saying that you don't have any control over a love interest. He said it was organic. He didn't start out being romantically interested in her, and they're just trying to make something out of it and put the two things together. The two things have nothing to do with each other. So,
And, you know, when it comes to the law, everybody kind of stretches some things.
it was, yes, they were definitely stretching. Yes, yeah, absolutely. So they're thinking now that the trial won't take place before November because they don't have a date.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that's going on in New York seems to be moving a little slow to me. But they're getting a lot of important testimony. They've been keeping folks up to date on that.
Yeah.
And one of the hosts on MSNBC was in the courtroom
Mm-hmm.
last week. And when his show came on, he mentioned it. He says at the end of that day's part of the trial, when the former orange-haired president walked out of the room, he said he looked him in the eye and had this smirk on his face like, I'm going to get you, you know. And he walked on out. I was like, wow.
Well, I mean, this is what black people in America recognize. The system that we in America call the justice system
Justice.
is truly set up just to punish us. When we do something wrong, you can best believe the system is going to work properly. When they do something wrong, everybody start to stretching the truth and equivocating. Well, this could be like that, and maybe it's not like this. And, you know, I've been watching some of those pundits talk about the whole piece, especially the piece with the hush money piece up there in New York, where
Yes.
you're paying that stripper, you know,
Yeah.
to be quiet. They pretty much saying, well, you know, you can't prove that because he never gave the person any money directly. And
What?
so clearly, they don't want the embarrassment of a president a former president of the United States being indicted for anything. Okay. And this is a man who, when he was running the first time, said, look, I could go out on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and still get away with it.
Like he's trying to get away now. Yes.
So clearly he realizes that I'm a man of means and I'm a man of celebrity and I'm not going down for anything. Which is why, like I said, we got to get rid of injustice. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, look, what did Martin Luther King say? He said a threat to justice here in America or anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Right, right.
So, I mean, you know.
Yes, yes.
This is why we feel that things are so unfair. And we just can't figure out a way after all of these years. That's why we should have picked up where we left off from the Civil Rights Movement. Because we haven't figured out a way to express the injustice to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But eventually, like anything else that's sick, the virus of racism, what? It starts to creep into everything. So what are you seeing now? You seeing these kids, because really, the whole thing with Israel and the Palestinians is based on racism.
Oh, yeah.
So now you got these kids, really what they protesting is racism. They don't want to say it. They want to say, oh, this is a Palestinian. No, this is a racism issue. Let's be honest. That's why you got so many black folk protesting.
I am glad that you shared that. Oh, absolutely.
And look who out there who they disrespected. These are children of dignitaries. If you go into Columbia University, you got some money. You got some money and your family has some cachet.
Yeah.
And they are telling them kids, you know what, we're going to treat you just like we treated them black kids down protesting in the 60s. Because let's just be honest, protests on universities started with black folk.
Right. With Central State.
Central State was one of the first ones.
Right.
But it was just the fact that this is a history that belongs and has started. The genesis is black people protesting injustice. And now you don't want to give the black folks credit for this. So now you out here, you getting pepper sprayed. They shooting flash bombs in the crowd.
Right.
They don't care who these kids are. They treating them like black folk. So we all know when you get treated like crap, what do black folks say? Oh, they treating you like black person.
Yeah, right.
We know we always get treated like garbage.
Oh, Lord.
So America gonna have to figure this racism thing out. If you gonna continue down this path, everybody's gonna get touched by it.
Yeah, we got to continue talking about this on more shows too.
Yes.
Because that's something that definitely needs to be expanded. I mean, I hadn't thought about it exactly then, like you explained it, but that's an excellent way. And also, isn't Brown University involved in this? Didn't they have?
It's so many universities, Ms. Broughton.
That's an Ivy League school too.
Yes, it is. I mean, Harvard, Columbia, Brown.
Oh, they were in Harvard too.
Yes, UCLA,
Oh,
Arizona State. I mean, it's all over the country.
University of Southern California.
Wisconsin, that was just on the news.
Oh, wow.
There's bashing the poor student head in Wisconsin.
Oh, my God.
So they know they done painted themselves in the corner. And this is why white people got to start recognizing racism. You think is doing you some good. And you think you got white privilege and you don't want to admit it. But your privilege ends at the door when you start, speaking on injustice. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's like your white privilege is out the door.
Well, I think that as this trial in New York progresses, if they bring it to an end and send the jury, into the room to decide what they're going to decide before the primary, that would be a good thing. It really would.
They're trying to stretch it out, though.
Yes, I know. Yeah. But I've heard a number of people say, well, if he's convicted, I'm not voting for him, And I'm thinking, what does that have to do with anything? He was a pitiful president. That's why you don't want him back in.
Look.
He tried to turn over the election. That's why you don't want him back in. And another thing, speaking of colleges, protests and all of that, do you remember the college in Texas that was started by him? What was it? It wasn't University of Trump, but whatever.
I think it was like Trump. It was like an online type of
Something like
thing. Yeah.
However, he took the students' money.
Mhm.
Did he give the money back? Kind of like the city of Detroit. We got your property tax. We spend it now. Too bad. You know.
I think they settled out of court for like $12 million. This was right before the election started.
Yeah, to
2016.
cover it up. They should not have covered it up. That was wrong to pimp the children who were going to college. And another thing they didn't talk about was the beauty pageants. I don't know how many beauty pageants, but annually he had a beauty pageant, and he loved feeling on folks. So they very quiet about the contestants changing into swimsuits. I don't know anybody who can change into a swimsuit without stripping naked. And he was just having himself a good time. They don't talk about that.
Yeah, that whole thing of the Russia and the golden showers,
Yeah, I
all that
did.
foolishness, that kind of like, after he got elected, that kind of went away.
Yeah, but you see, he's trying again, so it shouldn't have went away. They should bring it right back. I don't want anybody to say, oh, well, no, no, it's still relevant. It's his character that's crap.
And,
His decisions that's crap. Drink bleach if you don't want COVID. Do
well,
what?
they interview a lot of middle America, they say. Because I recall some of the things people said.
Uh-huh.
Because you recall they had the whole thing with Bush's son, the Access Hollywood tape where he was talking about grabbing on women in their private parts and all of this foolishness.
Bush's son did said the same thing?
No, his Bush son is the host. His name is Billy
of
Bush,
that. Oh, okay.
on the
okay.
Access Hollywood show.
Okay, I got you.
And I guess they had, they didn't know that the hot mic was on.
Oh.
And they were on the bus and talking about how, he like a celebrity. You can do whatever you want to do when you rich, and you can grab the ladies on their private parts and all kind of foolishness. And it went, it came out into the public.
Yeah.
And everybody said, oh. So when they were interviewing people, the ladies were pretty much saying, well, that's how men are. They say that stuff, But I just need somebody that's going to take care of my business. So we've decided that morality has nothing to do with being a president. Okay?
Oh.
We got rid of that
No.
a long time ago. So once they just made sure it was thrown in the trash can, Trump. So now people don't care about morality. They don't care that you pay off a stripper. They just want the person they want in the office.
Oh.
And the sad part about it is, what did he do when he got in office? He cut all the taxes of rich people. Permanently, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And, they cut your taxes a little bit, but now that's over. That lasted like 4 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
He went out there and told them, look, they wanted the Supreme Court justices. They wanted a conservative court. They got one.
Mm-hmm.
The conservative court decided, okay, we're going to end Roe v. Wade.
Mm-hmm.
So now, all these white women that decided they wanted Trump, and that was 53% of them, now they like, oh my goodness, my rights, and my choice and my body, but still, they just can't do it. And this is the virus. I mean, we know there's a lot of white people that don't have money, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
But they hang on to this Republican idea. They think they got something to conserve. They live in trailer parks. They get destroyed by the tornadoes.
Uh-huh.
They don't.
Are you telling me that there are poor white people in America? Poor white people in America? But it could be that they're being told they're not poor. I have a family member who worked downriver in one of the elementary schools. Anyway, she said she was on her way to work one day, and this little white child was outside, no grass in the front of the house, and she was playing, and my family member was stopped at the traffic light, and a little child, all of a sudden, I guess, realized she had to go to the bathroom, but had been sitting on this dirty ground, so now all her little legs are dirty. She's running into the house and a little stream going down her leg as she's, I'm like, oh my
Oh
goodness.
my goodness.
That would be evidence of a poor white family.
Oh my
wouldn't it?
goodness.
A poor
Oh,
white
Tim
family.
said we up there at the bottom of the hour.
Oh dear. Just okay, well, enough of the poor white people for right now. And stay tuned. We'll be back momentarily.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broughton, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there's gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist, a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Woodland here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the chew germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD and Pinda.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. And don't forget, take us along with you. There are so many ways that you can do that. Right now, if you go to Radio We Can See, you can see us this morning. You can call in and share with us this morning. And know that even though it's May, I'm still celebration. Come on. Oh, anyway, in the meantime, we have a guest who has joined us. A young man that I've known for a long time, Jabril Muhammad. Mark?
Yes, indeed. I'm excited. This young man here, Mr. Jabril Muhammad, I'm telling you, he's putting on an event in June that I'm telling you, everybody, you're going to want to be a part of this. I had just talked about the book Richard Wright wrote, Lord Today, and it's about getting information. Now, we got to get back to the reading piece. Brother Jabril Muhammad, Epic Events, talk to the listeners out there and viewers and tell us what you have coming up in June.
All right. Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for having me, Mr. Cummings and Ms. Broughton. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your platform. So Epic Events, we're putting on our event called the Men of Literature event. And what I've noticed in the past few years, doing some radio and TV hosting as well myself, is that there's a lack of publicity for male authors.
Yes, indeed.
And I had to ask myself, is there a lack of publicity, or is there actually a lack of male authors? And I saw that it was the latter and not the former. And because I was worried, like, are we not writing books? Are we not getting published? And that wasn't the issue. The issue is that we don't get necessarily the publicity and the opportunities that some of our counterparts do. So we want to bridge the gap on that. And then, of course, it's to promote literacy, education.
Right.
My whole platform is on edutainment. I believe education can be both entertaining and you can always learn something from an entertainment piece.
Oh, my goodness, Miss Broughton, I'm loving it right now.
Yes,
Yes, indeed, because we've had quite a few authors down here.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. As a matter of fact, I got to co-host this one.
Yes,
But
indeed.
tell us more.
Yes. So, again, I'm an author myself, and we'll be hosting this event on June 22nd at the Northwest Activity Center at 4 p.m. So, Epic Events will be putting on an event. And, again, it's men of literature, but everyone is invited.
Right.
So, you will see is men who have published book and authored, and as well as publishing companies. But we'll have an array of events that the whole family can enjoy. Puzzles, games, introduction to how to write a book and how to get your book published.
So this sounds like almost like an all-day affair.
It's going to be about 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 to 4 hours, so we can really get everyone encouraged. Again, all ages, whole families invited. We want to absolutely encourage the youth to come out. Honestly, those still in school, because that's when you're figuring out what you want to be. And one thing that I always say is that, as an author myself, being an author, being in literacy is one of those few careers that you can have that you don't have to go to college for, that you can start anytime, and you have a pretty good grasp on the English language.
Right.
And you can speak, on your language, you can write. And so if you start telling your story, start telling stories that mean something to you, and we can really have we can have an enjoyable time, and you'll get so much further, because one thing, when I wrote my first book when I was 11, Ms. Broughton knows this, My Future's Bright, because I kind of thought, being younger, that...
Okay, wait a minute. Let's slow down then. You wrote your first book at 11 years old?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
And
my goodness.
I have a copy. I bought a copy.
Okay, now what is the title of the book again?
My Future is Bright Because.
Okay, now, people, you want to get this book if you got children, now what is it geared to? What age group?
It's geared to probably around between the ages of 6 and 9.
Okay.
So it's a pretty easy read, about 3rd grade level or so.
Now, where can they find this book?
So the book, unfortunately, right now is not up on like Amazon. So just contact me through my social media pages. I am Jabril, or you can give me a call at 313-437-2432, and we can talk about getting that first book.
Slow down. That was pretty fast.
Number again, telephone.
313-437-2432.
All right, and that's for Epic Events, folks.
Yes.
All right, Brother Jabril writing books at 11, so you got a lot of experience in this game.
Yes, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Yes, indeed.
Like I said, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Yes, and you know, Miss Broughton, especially for us, I don't care if you're a black female or a young kid or a black man, you can't go to the big publishing houses.
Yeah.
It's rare. So you got to get out here and figure out a way to self-publish.
Right.
And is this going to be the focus? We're going to show these people how to get that book published.
It's not going to be the primary focus. It's going to be the primary focus for this event is encouraging you on writing your stories, writing your books, and then showing men who have done it and who are successful in literacy.
So they can give
creating
some
their
pointers
publishing.
out there.
Yes, pointers out there. But you brought up a valid point, because one thing that I always encourage and promote on my platforms is the indie creatives. Because we talked about, like you said, we can't go to those big publishing companies. So whether you're a writer, an artist, it's very difficult to get yourself in the door.
Yes.
But a lot of us don't know that there are resources that we can utilize, some of them free or affordable, that you can start getting yourself out there and really, again, telling your stories or sharing your art, whatever they may be.
Wow.
Miss Broughton, you've been knowing this young man for quite a while.
Yes, and the rest of his family as well. Now, I was very pleased to learn that he had written the book at 11. You know, so often our young people don't have encouragement from family. They don't have opportunities to try this, this area and so many other areas. And unfortunately, they get bored, they get disappointed, and they look around, and the next thing you know, they're either in trouble or on some substance. And I really am excited about this program, because it's letting the community know that there are opportunities for you to learn how to self-publish, how to encourage your young family members to participate in what's going on, and just don't sit around thinking, oh, well, I got to work, I gotta buy bread and milk, and the child is over in the corner, and nobody is taking a few minutes to say, hey, have you ever tried to write?
Right.
Just think up a story, a little children's, story, and we'll help you. We'll ask your teacher to help you. That kind of thing.
And as Tim knows, when we came up, they used to have the Saturday cartoons. It was like a little break in between time with timer and all of that. And what would they always say? Reading is fundamental. So they wanted to encourage the kids to read. And something you said, Jabril, that touched me was, you want to tell your story.
Exactly.
And the thing is, everybody got a story to tell.
Absolutely.
Because you live a life.
You're right.
And, and you might have a story that, you might make up a story.
Exactly.
Right? But it's a story nonetheless. And for you to have been at 11 writing, you had to be encouraged. So tell us about your family, baby, because your family put you on that path.
Absolutely. So the family values are a high aspect of what shaped me to be where I am. My mother is a graphic designer.
Yes.
So how I wrote my first book and how I ended up writing my first book was a client, family friend, Mr. Waterman of Waterman Publishing. Waterman Printing.
Waterman Printing,
right there on Wyoming. He was He's affiliated with the Optimist Club.
Okay.
The Detroit Optimist Club. So the year I wrote my book, or the year about a year before my book came out, the title of the contest, Optimist Club contest for that year was Why Is Your Future Bright? So all of the essays, it was an essay contest, started with My Future is Bright Because.
Okay.
And I won first place at the Optimist Club level, entering the contest, and my mother, I took it home, told her, I was like, Mom, I got this medal, you know, I won first place. I was excited, 11 years old. And that really kind of opened me up a lot, because before then, probably like most young men and young children, I was kind of, you know,
little
to
shy.
myself and
Okay,
shy
gotcha,
and clammed up and that. You see, I kind of talk fast now and have a bit of energy there. But, you know, because I knew I was creative, but I didn't know where to put that.
Where to focus.
Exactly, where to put that focus. So that essay contest and writing that first book really opened me up to other opportunities. That came from, again, the values of working in the community, my mother and father working with Waterman Son and Sons Printing.
Now shout out your mother and father, because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that know your mother and father.
Oh yeah, that's so. Actually, her portrait's in here, I think, behind Mr. Derek Muhammad and Miss Charlene Muhammad.
Yes.
Are my parents.
And what's the name of their business?
SOS.
Yes.
So SOS Graphics and Printing. It's my mother, and then SOS Communications has background in information technology. Is my father.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
And I would bring you epic events.
Oh, wow.
And Hood Research has been working with you guys for a long time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, that's how their family met Waterman.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because Mr. Waterman was also affiliated with the Hood Research.
Right. He did printing for us. There's a new thing out there today. It's called AI.
Yes.
This computer is trying to take over the planet.
Right.
And in the meantime now, there are, I guess, a couple of areas where you can use the site when you're writing. If you write a sentence, I don't know, I'm going to Grandpa's house.
Right.
And then you enter that into the computer, and it will rewrite that sentence
Yes.
to give it more color, more text. On I don't know, what would you say, a sunny afternoon, we were happy to get together and go over to Grandpa's house. You know, it's up on the hill or whatever. But is the access to that kind of resource going to be shared at your event?
So the thing with AI is interesting me. That interests me as a creative and as a writer is people always talk about it replacing our, you know, creative humans, right? Like you said, like Ms. Broughton just said. So we might touch on that, but what I want to encourage people, because I use like ChatGPT and the AIs myself, the tools. We can utilize those tools to it as a partner. Kind of when you especially again you're trying to be independent, you're trying to go at it by yourself, or you're new to it. So I use resources like ChatGPT, Siri on your phone. Just ask some questions to do your research, and then it doesn't have to take from the authenticity of your voice. So that's not something that we're going to be heavy on in this event of the AI so much, but that's a good, excellent question. And but I do want to encourage people that AI is around as a tool, I believe, to assist, not to replace, because you know, you type certain things into Google, into like a ChatGPT, and you can still kind of hear that like it sounds crisp, but it also still sounds a bit robotic, mechanic, and you want to still put your authenticity, your voice with it, your how you sound, your authentic sound.
That's right.
And you know, Ms. Bro, we had mentioned earlier during the show that one of the guests we had here, Miss Onita Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
She self-published.
I saw it.
And then, you know, she went with a smaller publishing concern on her second publishing.
Right.
But now her book has been chosen to be in the regular review at the United States Library of Congress.
Excellent. Yeah.
That doesn't happen often.
Right.
But
Right.
it shows that even if you self-publish, that doesn't mean you're not going to get the exposure.
Right.
You know, you're going to get out there.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about using social media to get exposure for your book and all this other stuff on the conference.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, utilizing social media, utilizing, again, the tools that we have access to now that are readily available. And those are things we're going to touch on. The main thing we want to, again, encourage people to do, young men and young ladies to do, is to tell your story. And it's a very, as Broughton just said a little while ago, you know, we so worried about our 9 to 5, getting the bread, physically and as they call money, that sometimes we kind of lose that creativity. And I found that that's one aspect that, you know, as a young man, I battled with for a while. Like, man, I don't want to lose my creativity, my youthfulness, because I have to perform in, you know, keeping a household together, managing different things we have to manage as men. But I think creativity, writing books, publishing, anything kind of creative keeps that youthfulness in you. And that doesn't you don't have to get so boxed in when we're researching other things that we want to explore, because that's how I got into an interest in radio and TV as well, because I was like, oh, it's all scripting. That's just writing. So that's the kind of path it can take you on.
Yes,
You never know where it can take you. Like you said, she self-published her first book, but now she's selected for the Library of Congress. So that, you never know where this path can take you, and we want to show success in that path.
Right,
My goodness.
Are you working on a book at this time?
At this time, I'm actually working on 2 very different titles, but yes, I'm working on two books currently.
Oh, two titles?
Yes, on 2 different titles. So
Okay.
one is a cookbook that should be out. I wish it was out for Mother's Day, but it should be out within a few weeks for the summer. It's called Just Cooking A to Z. So it's a cookbook. So another passion of mine is cooking. Okay. So I'm not a professional chef or anything, but as they say, I can do my thing.
Right.
All right.
And
share your gifts with the world.
Right. And I remember when I was younger, we got these little books, little children's books from like Pillsbury House, and like you said, watching the Saturday morning cartoons, you would call in and they would have giveaways. And so the book is similar. The cookbook is very similar to that. It's different recipes, A to Z. Most of them are like cookies, muffins, starter culinary like desserts that you can create. A young child can create in the kitchen with their parents under supervision.
Oh wow!
And then
And I'm sure they like to use their hands to bat down the pastry to make the cookies too.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting for them, you know.
It's beautiful. And, Ms. Broughton, people, whatever you get inspired to write, you got to get started.
Absolutely.
And I've mainly done freelance writing as a journalist.
Right.
But I do have a lot of notes here and there. I'm going to put a book together at some point.
Yes.
But what you realize is you got to figure out how you want to do this, folks.
Yes.
So I know Miss Onita Jackson said she would write 3 pages a day until she got where she wanted.
Right.
So when you're a writer, you got to have some structure.
Yes.
You got to figure out, okay, how I'm going to do this. I got to find a quiet place to do things. So I think being a writer is it's like being an engineer almost. You got to solve some problems in there to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're going to talk about that. Let them know again, when is the piece? Epic, I'm telling you. Epic, what is it?
Epic Events. Yep.
Epic Events. It's going to be June the 20th. Give them the details one more time because we're coming up on the bottom of the hour.
June 22nd is the event, so let me just make sure because, June 22nd
now, what
is
day
Saturday.
That's
it's
a
on a Saturday.
Cool.
So the weekend, it's in the afternoon between about 2 to 3 hours, 4 to 6.
Okay.
Come on out at the Northwest Activity Center. That's 18100 Myers. So that's 180-100 Myers Road, Northwest Activity Center. We'll have a nice event for you. Like I said, we're going to talk about publishing, being an author, men's literature.
Do you have any offers lined up at this time?
Yes, we have myself. Man, I don't have my whole list in front of me right now.
Well, I know I'm going to invite down Brother Craig Rush.
Yeah.
No Time for Hate.
Yes.
Pastor Michael C. Robinson. My Father's Blood.
Yes.
We're going to get, of course, Anthony Brogdon in the building with the Black Business Book. So I'm going to holler at Yusef, Brother Yusef, Bunchy Shakur. He's got a book out. So I'm telling you, Detroit is chock full of authors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm going to have, that question, off the top of my head, I didn't have any, but I have myself. There's a man that recently wrote a book, and he's putting together, a whole design company around edutainment as well, games and puzzles. But he wrote a coloring book for children, and his name is Minka McKay.
Okay.
And he'll be there. I have another brother. His name is Terrence Williams. He'll be in there building as well, and he writes poetry and like an Afro fantasy science.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have an array of different authors, published authors.
Nice.
How much time we got left, Tim? About 4 minutes.
Wow.
We got to get that birthday, don't we, Miss Broden?
Yes. Okay, Jabril.
Yes, ma'am.
We have affirmations,
Right.
and our guests tell us
Speaking
their
about
birthday,
books.
and we look them up.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
When is your birthday, young man?
My birthday is September 24th.
Okay.
A Libra, huh?
Yes.
You missed out on being a Virgo, but that's not a problem.
Tendencies, I'm told.
That's the fun sign is Virgo. We just, Virgos have more fun, I guess that's what they say. September
I
the
have something.
24th.
I have two Virgos in my family, so.
See, so you know.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Who do we have here? Well, first of all, let me see.
What?
Curtis Robertson Collins
Curtis
was
Robinson.
born in 1931, Illinois' 7th District Congressperson. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, one of the first Congress people. All right. Let's see who else we got. Okay, now this is in the field of art. 1938, Mark Edward Warren. People might not know that name. He's an Emmy Award-winning director. He was born in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And on your day, let's get this, folks. This is a good one.
Here we go.
1965. President Johnson issued the Executive Order 11246, Title IV, distributing authority among federal agencies for the enforcement of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Wow.
Your birthday is big.
Yes. The 24th of May, 1965.
September.
I'm sorry, September 24th, 1965.
So now we know.
Oh,
924,
wow.
Civil Rights Act
Yes.
made into law.
On your birthday. Wow.
So that's Afromations, 366 days of American history, because I'm telling you, we do it. We at the top of the hour. Tim said we got to get in here. I wonder if is our other guest popped up yet, Tim? So we're going to keep you on until our other guests get here.
Absolutely.
Folks, we'll be back and got Miss Broden. She's the co-host, the hostess with the mostest. And,
oh my goodness.
I love it.
And now we have to pause for the cause. Station identification. Refresh your orange juice, your coffee. Call somebody. Tell them to tune in and learn about Jabril Muhammad. And we'll be back.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Womack here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you.
Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
All media platforms are engaged. Copy. Get ready to launch your show or product. Periscope ready. We're 5x5 ready to launch. Copy that. Trend worldwide across all major platforms.
Ignition. 3, 2, 1.
The world is waiting. Watkins Broadcasting. More than just TV.
You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Impinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. And take us along with you. We have guests this morning, Mark, and right.
And we got a packed house.
Yes.
And I'd just like to say, folks, Miss Theo Broughton has just wonderful relationships with everybody out here in the community. And Hood Research relationship with WC3D, the Wayne County Community College District. I'm telling you, and Provost Curtis Ivory over there, we got some things going on, Miss Broughton.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get the word out. So
All
we're
right.
doing this public service announcement
Yes.
for you all folks. And like the BD said, get your pen and pencils ready.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne County Community College District's Institute for Social Progress is inviting you to the Detroit Urban Summit for New Visions of Integration and Civil Rights in American Democracy, folks. You want to be here for this one because there's a lot going on. Friday, May the 10th. It's a long one, too. 9:30 a.m., folks, to 4:30 p.m. So be prepared to sit down. You're going to get something to eat. It's going to be featuring the new Culinary Arts and Bakery Center at the WC3D Northwest Campus. That's over at 8200 West Outer Drive. That's right there. You can't miss Outer Drive right off Southfield Freeway in Detroit. To register, you want to visit DetroitUrbanSummit.org. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. It's all one word, Detroit Urban, no spaces, folks. Detroit, then Urban, then Summit, SUMMIT.org. That's where you're going to register. It's no cost to the public. Okay, but we want you to come on out in the team because it's going to be important. Detroit Urban Summit 4 is a two-part summit that continues the series of national summits convened by WC3D Chancellor Dr. Curtis L. Ivory and the WC3D Institute for Social Progress, focusing on major educational, political, social, and economic issues critical to the vitality of the nation's historically diverse populations and the founding philosophical ideas of the project of American democracy. Now, folks, some of the speakers that are going to be there are Cheryl D. Cashin. She's a professor of law, civil rights, and social justice from Georgetown University, Ms. Broden. All right. Alex Kotlovitz, best-selling author. I've got an author in the building there, Mr. G. And journalist and a documentary filmmaker. Bank Coley Thompson will be there, folks. Most of you are familiar with him. He had a program over on another station, and he used to work with Michigan Chronicle. I don't know if he still does. But he's a columnist at the Detroit News now. And then we're going to have Cheryl Harris, Vice Dean for Community, Equality, and Justice from the UCLA School of Law. So you got people flying in for this one, Ms. Broden.
And the information that the community will have an opportunity to share is the most important part of the program, in my opinion.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And like you said, we got a lot of guests in here. Brother Ken Scott just showed up. He's with the Realtist, and we talking about, got a big real estate seminar coming up. Saturday, May 11th.
Okay.
10 a.m. So we're going to get him in here.
That's next
I'm
Saturday.
going to relinquish my spot
and
let him, Brother Jabril Muhammad, and you guys sit back and give the people what they need. Good information. And folks, take them pens and pencils and put them down.
And then don't forget the birthday for Ken Scott, so when you come back, you can get his affirmation as well. And, okay. Now, Ken Scott, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Would you take a few moments to tell us who is Ken Scott?
He's not in yet.
Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
All right. While he's getting settled, I just want you to know that at Hood Research, we look for so many opportunities to share with you. And we also encourage you to share with us the opportunities that you learn about and those that you think would be guests on this program that would share a lot of positive information, a lot of helpful information. And that's one of the ways that we help improve the community in which we live. And recently, the superintendent of schools, I was quite disgusted, but he's been on the media quite a bit here lately. And he has talked to the governor of the state of Michigan because he wants some laws put out there. The students in DPS have been getting involved in crime and drugs and the little candies and cookies that are being offered, encouraging more of our young students to get involved in the drug trafficking and the other. So I thought to myself, now this is about the craziest thing I've ever heard of. We have enough politicians pushing for crime laws, crime laws, crime laws. And there's still a question as to whether all of these additional crime laws are as effective as if they would pay attention to the students in the school. You know, there was a time when one of the crime laws was expanded, just lock them up. Marijuana is illegal, and so now all of a sudden it's not illegal anymore. However, the students in years past had an opportunity to get involved in vocational training in the schools. They had welding. As a matter of fact, welding was taught at Cass Technical High School. We had a school of commerce which taught office skills, typing, etc. We had classes such as wood carving. We had a lot of opportunities for our young people, home economics, and typing, and this was, of course, prior to the introduction of computers. And there were opportunities for our young people to learn about small vehicle repairs. They had cosmetology. So our young people had an opportunity to be exposed to other areas in addition to college prep classes. And so many of them wanted to go to college, but there were many more who wanted to use their skills and not go to college. You know, everyone does not have the money to pay for this high tuition. Everyone does not have the academic achievements to get scholarships. Everybody doesn't even want to go to college. So just to focus in on that and nothing else does our student body no good. Okay. But the superintendent of DPS doesn't seem to want to address the curriculum. They should even bring driver's training back into the public schools. Maybe that would help some of these crazy drivers on the street today, and those who don't have respect and are going through red lights anytime they feel like it. Right. Well, now we have our second guest here with us, Ken Scott. And Ken, I want you to tell those who are tuned in, who is Ken Scott?
Good morning, Theo. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. My name is Ken Scott. I am the real estate broker for CSW Real Estate. I'm a HUD certified housing counselor as well as former president of the Detroit Association of Realtors and the Greater Detroit Realtors Association. And what I'm trying to do today is educate our people as it relates to home ownership. Mm-hmm. We've had a tendency to fall back as far as becoming a renter. In most cases, we've never exceeded being a generational renter. And one of the things that we want to propose is that there be a number of workshops in the next few months throughout 2024 to make sure that the people in our community, mm-hmm. specifically our community, the black community, are achieving black home ownership and thus increasing their black wealth over the years. But it starts this year, and hopefully it started way before now. But at the same time, for those individuals that have been generational renters, we want to give them a reason to buy a home at this point in time. There's a lot of down payment assistance programs out there from the city of Detroit, from the county of Wayne and other counties, from MISTA, and we just want to make sure that home ownership is affordable to all people that want to that desire it.
That's wonderful. Now, has the first class been arranged yet?
Absolutely. Going to do a series of classes. Actually, in the next, I would say next 2 weeks, we're going to do 5 seminars. One starting this weekend, Saturday at Chosen Generations Community Center. That's May 11th at 2326 East 7 Mile, where we're partnering with a number of Northeast Ministerial Alliance members. Okay. They're all church members of interdenominational faiths and what have you, and we want to bring them and their congregations in to teach about home ownership.
Now that's this coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday from 10 to 2.
The 11th of May?
Correct.
The 11th of May. And it's at the location, give us the
Chosen Generations Community Center,
okay.
2326 East 7 Mile. That's between Ryan and Conant.
Okay.
That's a recreation center, actually, that I started my nonprofit at. But at the same time, it has been always community friendly. It's right across from Solomon's Temple for those individuals that live on the east side. It has always made itself accessible to people that wanted to do things within the community to uplift the community.
What's the name of the recreation center?
Chosen Generations Community Center.
Okay. Chosen Generations Community Center. This coming Saturday,
Correct.
May
11th.
the 11th.
From 10 to 2.
10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I think that this is extremely important because we have had the largest group of homeowners in the country as black people.
At one
in
time.
Our community, yes. And now there's a lot of gentrification going on, or Negro removal, as I call it. And our folks need to be made aware that it doesn't have to be.
Absolutely.
It does not have to be. And you know, Ken, the thing that really disappoints me is during the advent of the parent's death, and the children keep the property.
Absolutely.
They don't seem to realize that if they just find out the cost of the property taxes and divide it by 12 months in a year, where can you find cheaper rent? You can remain right there in that home. Wherever you move, you're going to have the similar kinds of expenses. So why not keep the family home, the family treasure, and build the family legacy?
I don't have anything to argue with you on that point at all. Not only that, keep up the taxes, keep up the insurance, but keep up the maintenance of the property itself. I mean, that's where we fall off as far as maintaining our community and sustaining our communities.
Okay.
Is that we don't make sure that we cut the grass. We don't make sure that we paint the front of the house, make sure that we do the general maintenance in order to keep the house up and viable so it can attain value later on.
Now, at the event on Saturday, May the 11th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., will you have a representative to talk about maintaining the property? Before you answer that, my understanding is the administration in the city of Detroit is coming up with punitive ideas, in my opinion. The people are going to be nickeled and dimed to death. And if the grass is too tall, there's going to be a fine. If this is not done, there's going to be a fine. If that's not done, there's going to be a fine. And I think there are other ways to handle that, but the administration has chosen to nickel and dime the community to death. So a lot of the properties will be walked away from because of that. So will you have someone there to talk about maintaining a property, the best way to maintain it, to monitor, etc.?
Well, let me state this. Like I said, I'm a HUD certified housing counselor.
Yes.
And one of the things that I work hard at is being involved in our community. I'm the first vice president of the 12th Precinct Police Community Relations. So one of the things that we do is we are over 50 neighborhood and community organizations, block clubs, what have you. And the most important thing is maintaining your property, making sure that it's the grass is cut, the property is just taken care of in general. So I will be addressing that issue as it relates to the maintenance of the property. Because it has everything to do with the value. Everyone's talking about the value of a property now.
Yes.
If our properties were well maintained, individuals wouldn't have a reason to go across 8 Mile to Oakland County, Wayne County, or downriver Wayne County, or go to Macomb County. So we want to maintain our communities, our respective communities, so that we live in a desirable situation. We have the proper quality of life that we've always desired.
Yes. Are you aware at all if the Detroit Public School curriculum has a class on maintaining property?
No, it doesn't, but at the same time, I've had an integral role over the last few months of going into the Detroit Public School System. And I am a community partner of theirs. So I teach home ownership to the parents that are in the various schools.
Yes.
And I've always wanted more of an opportunity to do that because they're unaware that they can purchase a home.
Right.
They have a fear of home ownership, as opposed to them transitioning from renter to homeowner.
Yes.
They have been relegated basically to rentership or generational rentership. We want to get them out of that mindset.
Right, right. That's wonderful. Now, are you expanding to high school, junior high, grade? I mean, which levels? I mean, this is.
Well,
this
right
is
now
great.
I'm
So-
only talking to the parents of the students and what have you, because one of the things we realize is that around the schools and what have you, we need to sustain that community. We need to stabilize that community. And those individuals that are sending their kids to those respective schools, they're not homeowners, they're renters.
Oh.
And I'll give you a case in point. When we were growing up, we went to the same elementary school, middle school, or junior high school, and high school. We had alumni associations. In a lot of cases, these kids nowadays are going to 5 schools before high school. And they don't know or have an alumni association that they can go to or that they can refer back to in order to go to any function or whatever the case may be. We want to make sure that we stabilize our communities. When the schools were taken out of certain communities,
yes,
that hurt our communities a great deal.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the things that we want to do is stabilize those communities again by teaching those parents about home ownership and the possibility of attaining it and attaining it more affordably. Like I stated before, there's down payment assistance programs out there that people just aren't aware of that make home ownership more affordable. I had a home buyer that just purchased a home, say, about 4 or 5 months ago. That individual was paying $1,200 a month in rent.
Wow.
They are now paying $500 in a mortgage. That's a savings of $700 every month. Okay, that individual is not hurting anymore. That individual is realizing the possibilities of black wealth for the first time in their lives.
That is wonderful. And we want to have you with us periodically to share that information as well, because we are hoping that it would inspire others to come to those programs that you are offering at the Detroit Public School System.
Absolutely. Theo, if I can, I'd like to go into 2 other seminars that we're having coming up.
Of course.
On Saturday, May 18th, which is a week from Saturday,
Okay.
we're having a home buyer seminar for the Western Wayne County NAACP. That's covering 24 communities outside of Detroit.
Yes.
Where there's a heavy black concentration and what have you, but they don't know those things as well. Like the city has $25,000 down payment assistance that's coming up real soon. The Wayne County, those areas where Ecorse, Inkster, River Rouge, all of those areas, they have access to $14,999 or $15,000.
Oh, wow.
Not only that, it can both the $25,000 in the city and the $15,000 in the suburbs can be bundled with the financial institutions' money, which is probably somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000 more. So, in the case of the city of Detroit's $25,000, they can bundle another $15,000, making it $40,000. Or in Western Wayne County, which is the downriver communities, they can access $15,000 from the county, $15,000 from other agencies, and make it $30,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so home ownership is more affordable than people think. You don't have to have a credit score of 720 or whatever the case may be. You can have a credit score as low as 580.
Really?
Okay, but at the same time, as long as you paid your bills on time
Yes.
for the last 12 to 24 months, that makes home ownership affordable again and attainable. And then you have debt to income ratio, where it used to be around 43% of your monthly income, now it's up to 50%. So you can utilize all those variables in order to increase home ownership and stabilize our communities.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's the kind of information that needs to be spread often.
I try to.
Well, we're going to
And
work
hopefully
on
there's some people listening, and hopefully
Yes.
there's some people that take advantage of the seminars that are coming up.
Yes.
Also, I want to mention one other seminar.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the 11th, the 18th, and the 20th. The 20th is for beauticians and barbers and those independent contractors that are out there doing 1099s. What we're going to do is bring them together, tell them how to keep their books up, and not take too many deductions where it impairs their income to the point where they can attain home ownership. They're making the money. And keep in mind, I call it the money under the table. Okay? They're making money, but they need to account for it properly and make sure that people are paying their taxes on time, and in doing so, you attain home ownership. You're not renting, or you're not prolonging the process. You're becoming a priority as far as rent for home ownership. Excuse me, for home ownership. We want to stabilize those communities, but at the same time, in a lot of cases, they're not ready for that, and we want to make sure that they're prepared on May 20th. At Extravaganza Academy, Detroit Extravaganza Academy, where we're teaching those beauticians, those barbers, those independent contractors how to keep their books, how to not take so many deductions that it impairs their income, but also to attain home ownership.
Okay.
Let me break right in here because we're getting up to about 6 minutes to go for
Oh,
the show.
no.
Not a problem.
And just want to let everybody know, we're going to let you know about the information with what's going on here. Home ownership is important. And like you were talking about the bookkeeping, we had Brother Jim Williams on last week. Got some software. You might want to give him a call, have him down for that function, because having your books right is important. So home ownership is tied into the whole piece, folks. That's why I love this show. We brought in Brother Jabril. Get on over here, brother. Young man, family is important. You want to intact families. You want to have your money together. You got to get it together because, folks, like he said, it ain't just your mortgage. You got your insurance. You got the upkeep on the home. You got your taxes. So you got to be ready. So what he's trying to do, Ken Scott, this guy's head of the Realtor Association. He's going to show you how to properly...
Former head.
Well, former head. How to do this the correct way and get in a home and stay in a home. So like Ms. Broughton said, when you pass it on to your kids, they'll know what to do with it.
Yeah, and let me emphasize this point. Preparation meets opportunity. If we're not prepared, we cannot seize the day. We cannot seize the opportunity. And one of the things that we're doing is giving people the tools to make a budget, increase your credit score, let them know about free tax preparation, mortgage loan readiness, the acquisition and rehab loans that are out there for those individuals that want to buy a property and then rehab it all in one loan. The City of Detroit is coming up with a $25,000 down payment assistance program. Wayne County has a $15,000 program.
Yep, we got
Mister
that.
has a $10,000
Give
program.
a number real quick, Ken, where they can get into your social media, all that, real quick.
Absolutely. 313-819-7065. That's 313-819-7065. I look forward to seeing anyone who is interested in attaining primary home ownership and stabilizing their community. You can make it to any one of these home buying seminars, and we will show you how to do so.
Can they find this information on social media?
They can, but at the same time, it's not relegated to one page, but at the same time, I will make it known to various group pages on Facebook over the next few days because we want everyone, like I said, that's interested in home ownership, primary home ownership, to be in attendance.
We got it. Tim said we got to get out of here. Brother Jabril Muhammad, give him real quick. Epic events.
Epic Events, don't miss us, will be at the Northwick Activity Center on June 22nd at 4 p.m. So come check us out. We're going to talk about literacy, and it's called the Men of Literature event. See you there.
All right. Your birthday? Ken Scott.
We ain't got no, we done ran out of time for that,
Oh,
Tim.
no.
No birthday. We done had Ken on before. Ain't no big deal.
Oh,
Everybody
no.
knows. Go to the show. You'll find his birthday.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for allowing me.
Yes, and for those of you who know, join Hood Research always. Be a member. $20 annual, $300 lifetime. The telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. 248-234-2371. Follow us on Twitter X. We have a website also. Peace. And Mark. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.